Yo guys, what's up? It is Ripe again, back with episode 43 of our Reddit series, and today I got some more entitled people for you. If you could like the video, that would be absolutely amazing, and if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. So now, let's dive right in. Your autistic brother is so slow, he won't mind if my daughter just takes his kitten. Important info. I am 18 and I live by myself in a one-bed flat that I share the main door with my neighbor. A big dude in his early 20s, fairly intimidating, who lives upstairs. My brother, 10, visits often and loves cats, but could never have one as mom is allergic. I have one cat, she's called Cake, which I have had for a while. However, she's not that social, so when my brother visits, she often goes into hiding. So recently, I adopted a kitten from the local shelter and let my brother name her. He chose the name Cookie. He absolutely adores her, and when he visits, I rarely have to remind him to be gentle. Cookie is as much my brother's as she is mine. Anyway, the incident happened a few days ago and my brother was visiting for the weekend. EM, 26, wanted to stop by for a cup of coffee with her daughter, which was 7 years old. Which was odd, as we aren't really that close of friends, we just know the same people, but whatever, I did not want to seem rude. The cast is EM for entitled mother, ED for entitled daughter, B for brother, me for me, and for neighbor. My brother was playing with Cookie in the living room when EM and ED arrive. We have the normal conversation at the door about how we need to do things more often, blah blah blah. When we all enter the living room, the ED makes a beeline towards Cookie and my brother. My brother is not really sure what's happening and runs to me in a panic. I reassured him that they are nice people and are only visiting. After I calmed him down, he goes back to playing with the kitten and even manages some small talk with ED. A short while later, me and EM were talking when all of a sudden I hear the kitten cry out in pain and my brother starts shouting out. Turns out, ED felt like she was not getting enough attention from the kitten, so she thought she would try yanking her tail while my brother was still holding her, resulting in the kitten scratching my brother. I immediately went into big sister mode and the following conversation happened. Me to ED, "What is wrong with you?" To B while grabbing the kitten, "Are you alright?" Brother, "Yeah." EM, "How dare you speak to my daughter like that?" Well, maybe if you taught your daughter not to yank on kitten tails, I wouldn't have to. By this time, the kitten squirmed out of my arms and behind the sofa, with ED following, my brother just saw us sitting, not knowing how to handle the situation. EM, in a sickly sweet fake noise, "My daughter would never do a thing like that. Maybe it was B who did it. After all, kids like him are known to outbursts." She walks towards ED, who is now holding Cookie. "It's obvious, he simply cannot be trusted to play normally like ED can. Maybe it would be better if we take Cookie out of your hands. It's obvious you cannot cope. Besides, you already have a cat." Me, trying to speak as calmly as possible, as not to frighten my brother. "What? How dare you? My brother is perfectly capable. And what makes you think you have the right to just take my kitten? You cannot have her." I just grab Cookie from ED and place her in my room, shutting the door. When I returned, EM was at eye level with my brother. EM, talking slowly, "You want Cookie to be happy and safe, right?" B, not knowing what to do, "Yeah." Me, "What are you do?" EM, ignoring me, "She will be looked after and loved with me and ED. Don't you think it would be better if we take her home with us? I'm sure it would be a massive relief." To me, "Because she already has a lot on her plate when you come to visit. You don't want her to have to worry about a small kitten as well, do you?" B, with tears in his eyes and a heartbreaking look on his face, "No, you can have her." ED, "Yay, kitten!" EM turns to me with this shit-eating grin. Me, "EM, I want you and ED to leave immediately." "Sure, sweetheart, just as soon as B goes and gets ED's kitten." Me, standing in front of B, staring her down while simultaneously holding my bedroom door shut. "He will do no such thing. You will first apologize to my brother and then get the hell out of my house." "How dare you think it's okay to manipulate B like that? What the hell is wrong with you?" EM, still with the same grin, "Sweetheart, you don't understand. ED loves animals and she will take good care of her."
You don't wanna upset her, do you? I mean, it's not as if B will care. He already said it was alright if we take her. He will probably forget within a week or two. Kids like him aren't exactly the fastest up top, if you know what I mean.
That was it. I completely lost it at this point. I grabbed her sternly by the arm and dragged her all the way out of my home with her yelling all sorts of insults I didn't care to listen to. I probably should have handled it differently, but when it comes to my brother, I'm very protective. EM and ED are now out of my house and ED must have followed. My neighbor is returning home at this point and we are all in the corridor, and my brother is still in the flat. EM sees the moment to turn this on me and starts saying how I assaulted her in the street and stole her kitten from ED's arms while I just stood there dumbfounded. When I regained my composure, I calmly told him what actually happened and that I'm sorry to have disturbed him. EM then changes her story, saying it's all true and how my brother
is one of the slow ones
and cannot possibly understand how to love and look after an animal properly. Neighbor:
Ma'am, I think you should leave right now, or I will call the police and have you arrested for harassment.
EM, confused as to why he's not taking her side.
Why don't you just go home? It is none of your business anyways. Why do you care?
She goes to open my damn door, but before I could stop her, my neighbor does something incredible. He pulls her back and stands in front of me and my door. Neighbor:
Leave.
What are you doing? Move out of my way. My daughter wants a kitten.
Neighbor turns completely around, faces me, and starts talking about the weather, completely ignoring her. Neighbor:
It's really sunny today. I hope it is sunny tomorrow. I like summer, it's very...
What are you doing? Just move.
Neighbor, still ignoring her:
Well, summer is my favorite, but winter is still good. I like the snow. Do you like the snow?
What are you doing? Don't just ignore me. Don't you know it's very rude?
Neighbor to EM:
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'm just too slow to know what to do. I'm so sorry.
EM just stood there like a fish out of water and in a blind panic grabs ED and finally leaves. My brother is fine and so is Cookie. He was understandably upset and confused after the whole ordeal, but I eventually calmed him down. I never want to speak to EM again. After I told our mutual friends what happened, they also cut all ties with her. Update from a week later. I was speaking to my mother and apparently the reason EM came over in the first place was to take Cookie. This whole thing was pre-planned by her. She saw my post on Facebook where I said that I have adopted another cat with an image of Cookie sleeping in my brother's lap. After I posted that, she messaged my mother, and my mother doesn't use social media that much, which is why I'm only finding out now. Asking if my mom was aware that I was allowing my brother to be near a helpless animal and that it was not safe to leave such a small kitten in the arms of someone like my brother, unsupervised, and that if I did it, it would be some form of animal cruelty as
autistic kids are stupid.
He would most likely end up killing her, and that she is willing, out of the goodness of her heart, to rescue Cookie from such an abusive situation. She genuinely believed that my brother, because he was autistic, would go full Lenny and kill Cookie. I will update again if we hear anything more from EM. Rapstars, I'm actually curious, is there a punishment for kidnapping an animal? Because that's what EM intended to do. Also, it's absolutely disgusting how the EM talks about the autistic brother.
I'm coming to your apartment tomorrow.
Backstory. I have a younger sister who is freeloading at my dad's house and I moved away from home. The reason I moved was because my sister is verbally abusive of my dad and me and I could not take the environment anymore. We are both adults in our 20s and I was almost done with college anyway. So anyway, I was visiting when I noticed our GameCube that we shared as kids was gathering dust from not being used. So I asked my dad if I could take it, since it was technically his, since he paid for it and it was in his house. Also, since it was covered in dust, we both assumed my sister was not using it. So he let me take it. Fast forward 5 months and I get a call from my sister. The conversation goes more or less like this. Sister S shouting,
"How dare you take the GameCube? You didn't ask me if it was okay."
Me not completely registering what she said yet. I'm sorry, what?
You took the GameCube and I wanted to play tonight and now it's not here. Why do you act like you can do whatever you want?
And then she started going on a tirade where I couldn't get a word in edgewise. So, not even registering what she is saying anymore, I hang up. I'm tired from a long day and I don't feel like being yelled at. She then sends me a series of texts about how I cannot keep it and I have to give it back. Now, for the record, if she had asked me nicely to bring it back home, I would have been fine with doing so. I told her that I would appreciate it if she would ask me instead of demanding it, and noted to her that I thought she was not using it anymore because of the dust. She then texts me,
"You cannot freaking control me. I finally have a chance to play it and you took it without asking."
So I tell her once again I will give it back when she asks, and when I get an apology for being yelled at as soon as I had picked up the phone, and she then accuses me of gaslighting her. I told her I don't think she's using that word correctly, and she doesn't even answer to that and tells me she's coming to my apartment in the early morning to pick up the GameCube. We are talking about 8 AM here. I told her I have testing at the hospital at 8:15, which I do, and will not be home by the time she gets to my apartment, and she starts demanding that I tell my roommate to give it to her. She doesn't believe me when I tell her that my roommate will be at work. It has been left at that at this point, and I admit I probably should have been courteous and asked her if I could take it, despite it obviously having not been used for years. But I think this is over the top. As someone mentioned in the comments, it obviously took her 5 months to notice that it was actually gone, so there's no way she actually cares about it, she simply wants a power play. Did you guys ever have a situation like that, where a friend or family member wants something back after like half a year, and you just get the feeling that that person only does it to control you? Please tell us in the comments. Entitled Lady wants meal for free. For background, I work at a Mexican fast food restaurant, and as a newish employee, my manager always reminds me that we charge extra for extra sauce or add-ons with no exceptions as per corporate policy. It has never been a problem for customers, as it's only about 50 cents more. In this story we have Karen, me, N for new employee, and manager M. Today, Karen came in for the first time in a month, and as I punched in her order, she kept adding,
"And the free side off,"
insisting that she always gets extra of whatever she wants for free. I tried explaining that I couldn't make sides free for her, but she was insistent and kept repeating that it was
"for me,"
as if that solved the issue. As I cannot do anything about the charges, I ring her up like usual, and when she doesn't complain after checking the receipt, I assume everything was fine. Boy, was I wrong. About 6 minutes later, I hear yelling from the counter, and I step out to find K yelling at N about how her bag of chips is too small and how her sauce container is practically empty. N stutters and tries to keep her calm as I head to the back and fill up her normal sauce container and chip bag until they overflow. However, this is not enough for Karen, as she demands that we give her an even bigger container of sauce, and when we remind her of the extra charge, Karen begins screaming, startling all of the other customers. Karen demands a manager and says she has never been treated so rudely before. M comes out and listens to K about how rudely she was treated and how N and I should be punished. And also that she deserves the meal for free because
"they never charged me for anything."
My manager tells Karen in a pleasant voice that she will get her the extra sauce right away. In the back, my manager pours the contents of the small sauce container into a large container and returns it to Karen. As Karen opens her mouth to demand the whole thing for free, M reminds her that she was going against corporate policy and she could not eat here again if she demanded things again. I assume Karen's craving for Mexican food was bigger than her ego because she snatched the food and stomped off, shouting about
"unfair treatment and rude employees."
As much as I hope I don't see Karen again, I also wish she would come back again, just so I can officially deny her free extra items and watch her meltdown without punishment. Ripestars, that reminds me, what is your favorite Mexican food and your favorite Mexican fast food chain? I gotta admit, Mexican food is not too common here in Germany, so I'm not really that familiar with it. Anyway guys, let's continue to the last story for today. If you have enjoyed the video so far, please don't forget to leave a like and post some stars in the comments so I can see that my loyal Ripestars are still watching. 911 because I'm too lazy to go to the store, and screw people dying. Obligatory, I'm on mobile, first pose, excuse formatting or grammar. Point it out and I will fix it. Paramedic here, and I was dispatched to a call a few days ago. At 8 AM for a distraught 19-year-old female, unknown medical problem. I showed up to an off-campus apartment complex and met at the door by this typical basic white beach college student, obviously hungover. The cast is me, the annoyed paramedic who hasn't gotten her morning coffee, and EC, entitled college student. Hi, I'm OP, what seems to be the problem? EC,
Yeah, I'm really hungover and I have an exam in like 4 hours and I have a headache and I'm dehydrated and I feel like I'm gonna puke.
me, yeah, that sounds like a hangover. Let me check your vitals. And shocker, they were normal.
I need you to fix this. I have class and my professor doesn't do makeup exams.
Me, I'm not really sure what you want me to do about it. Did you take Tylenol, drink Gatorade or tons of water / eat something? You know, like any of the things any normal person who is hungover would try?
No, I don't have Gatorade or Tylenol and I don't feel like running to the CVS. Can't you just give me an IV and fix it?
Me, no, because you know this is not a medical emergency, which 911 is generally for. How would you feel if your family member was dying and you called 911 and no paramedic was available because I'm here dealing with this stupidity?
It doesn't matter, they are old and gonna die anyways. I need you to fix this now. I have class and an exam, you're just here to fix it.
Me, yeah, no, either drink water, get someone to bring you Tylenol or Gatorade, or maybe don't go and party the night before a big exam. This is in no way a medical emergency, and if I had nothing better to do than babysit you while I gave you IV fluids and anti-nausea meds, I wouldn't. People with actual medical emergencies need me, and I need Starbucks, so I'm out.
Fine, I will call back and tell them I'm dying and you have to come back and help me.
Me, yeah, go right ahead, I won't be back, but PD will arrest / fine you for abuse of 911 and campus PD will get involved since you're admittedly still probably drunk and hungover and underage. But you do, you boo. Shocked face. The entitled girl did not call back, but did pull a Karen in training and called my boss to complain that I would not fix her hangover. It is all good though, my boss laughed and after explaining the consequences of abuse of 911 and the academic repercussions if we got campus PD involved, told her to buy Gatorade and Tylenol and stop being a dumbass. I'm sure I will be back there again in a few days after this weekend's upcoming parties. And here a golden post from the comment section.
911, what is your emergency?
Karen.
I have a hangover and I crap myself. Come here now.
911.
Am I a joke to you?
But seriously, who the hell would abuse the 911 system like that? By the way guys, there's actually an extra subreddit where paramedics or emergency medical workers can submit their own stories, which are sometimes similar to the one we just heard. So if you're interested in hearing more about those, please tell me in the comments. Alright guys, that's the last story for today. I'm actually sorry it's a bit shorter today, but it's like 34 degrees in my room. And as I mentioned before, I gotta close all the windows so I don't hear the damn airplane noises outside. So that will have to do for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish I see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.